to another That CMMS Dude video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the fleet organization in MobileMMS. This is the fleet landing page. We're going to start our review by talking about the grid view in the center of the page. You can see this is showing us all of our fleet assets, and it's laid out similar to an Excel spreadsheet with columns and rows of data. We can scroll from left to right, and you can see it just lays out all of the columns, all of the rows, all of the attributes for the assets. And then we can do things like grab a column, move it, just like you can in Excel. You can reorder the data too. So if I click on this, it'll reorder the vehicle number from smallest to largest. Click on it a second time, it'll go largest to smallest. So this works much like an Excel spreadsheet. Of course, most of the time, you don't want to look at every asset, but you're more interested in an individual asset or group of assets. So the best way to do that is to use this search function here. And this opens up a search wizard, and it lets us put in any amount of criteria we want to do here. So for instance, if we are interested in a certain make, model of vehicle, or let's say we want to look at all of the vehicles that belong to section 413, right? If I apply that, I'm going to see all of the vehicles that belong to section 413 in our results list. So you can see now there's 30 items here rather than over 400. And that's how you get a smaller list of just the items you want to look at. You can always open the search up again and clear your search criteria by hitting this clear button and hit apply. And that'll give you the full list again. So one of the ways you might want to search is by VIN number or portion of VIN number. So let's go into the search here and say, for example, I have the final digits of a VIN. Let's say we go 55731. I'm going to apply that. So this takes us directly to the vehicle whose VIN number ends in 55731. You can see that that is vehicle 981. So let's go back in here and let's clear our results again and get the full list. And I'm going to show this button here is an export to Excel. So at any time you want, anytime you have the results list in this window the way you like it, if you hit this export to Excel, what it's going to do is it's going to take these results and dump it into an Excel spreadsheet already set up with filterable rows, which may be a little bit easier to use for those that are just more comfortable actually using Excel. We'll go ahead and show you what that looks like here. So this is the same data, vehicle numbers, it's the same columns, the same rows, already set up with filters here. So you could come in here and say, you know, I don't know, I want to look at, well, let's say you only want to look at something that's a Bobcat, right? So you could use these filters to get to your data quickly and look at just the data that you want to look at. Anyways, if the Excel spreadsheet works better for you, you can always use that. Now this left-hand panel here, if we click on fleet, it'll open up and show us all the fleet forms that we have available to us, including fleet assets. You can see that this fleet asset, if I hit on this, it'll give me the results, which are the same results that are laid out here, just laid out a little differently. And you can also search by using the search function up here. You can search by vehicle number. You can search by VIN number. Similar. It's less complete than the search function here in the grid view. But you can see if I went 55731 and search for that, it'll still get us to the same vehicle, 981. So let's say, for example, we know which vehicle we want to look at. Let's say we want to look at vehicle 320. So I'm going to go ahead and put 320 in here. This is going to give us a more manageable list of anything that has the number 320 in it, including the vehicle. And I'm going to go ahead and click on vehicle 320 because that's the one we want to take a look at. Now what this shows us is the vehicle, and I can go ahead and hit the details button here and push those details into the grid view. Now this is the same details we had in that Excel spreadsheet layout. It's just vertical instead of horizontal. So it's all the same pieces of data, just laid out a little differently for this one vehicle. And then in the left-hand column here, these are all the child work orders that we could have, or child forms we could have. And you see most of these are 0 of 0, meaning there are no fleet repair work orders or crane inspections, oil changes, so on and so forth. There is one commissioning form for the fleet supervisor and one commissioning form for maintenance, and those are still open because you can see it's 1 of 1. If it was closed, it would say 0 of 1, and that would be in the closed status. So let's say we needed to create a repair work order for vehicle 320. I'm going to go ahead and click this add repair work order. And let's say we want to, I don't know, let's say we have a tire repair. So I'm going to go here in this service type. I'm going to go down to tires. I'm going to put in myself as the requester, what the request date is. Let's say that the vehicle is operable, where it's currently located, and let's say nail in tire. That's the description. I'm going to leave the status open. Let's put in, let's say we have, I don't know, 1,200 miles on the odometer. We're going to put in a 0 for the current hour reading because it's not an hour-based vehicle. It's an odometer-based. So I just have both of these fields here, so it covers both bases. If this were a run hour-based vehicle, I would put a 0 in the odometer field, obviously. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Now you see, once I've created the fleet repair work order, we have a 1 count here in the repair work orders. And if I open this up, you can see the name of this. It's a request date of 117, vehicle 320. It's tires, and there's a nail in the tire. If I hit this detail button, it'll push the details of fleet repair work order into this vertical format that's a little easier to read. And there's some things you can do with this. Let's say I wanted to alert somebody of this. You can hit the email button, and I'm going to send it to me. You can actually send it to anyone within our organization or external users if you know their email address. It already fills in the subject line for me. And let's just put for training here, but you can put any sort of message you want included in that and hit send. And it'll queue it up and send your email out. Now, this is what the email will look like. It has a hyperlink here to the actual work order. It says who sent this to you. In this case, I sent it to myself. Has all the information from that work order on here. And it even sends a link to the asset that it's connected to. So if I either wanted to go to the work order or to the asset itself, I could follow either one of those back to the work order in the system. It'll take you directly there. A few of the things you can do if you want to hit this button here, which is copy to clipboard. You could copy this to clipboard. Then you can send this in an instant message or embed it into your own email, whatever you want to do. You could copy it into a Word document or something like that for reference, but it is the hyperlink. And if you use that hyperlink, again, it'll take you back to this work order. You also have a print option. If I hit my print option, it's going to go ahead and bring up a printable version of this, right? So here's your printable version. And then you could either send this to a printer or save it as a PDF, whatever's better for you. But if you want to save it as a PDF and send this version copy through email or whatever, that option is available to you. So if I come back to my fleet forms here, you can see now we have a number of these fleet repair work orders. There's 9 of 21. And what this means is there's 9 open, 21 total. So the ones that aren't open are ones that have been completed. And if I click on that and go to my grid view, it's going to show me these 9 items, including the one I just wrote for vehicle 320 for the nail in the tire. And again, this is something that we could drop out to an Excel spreadsheet if we wanted to look at these, sort of in mass, laid out a little differently than what it shows on the screen here, right? But it's all the same data. It's the same rows, it's the same columns, it's all the same data. But you could manipulate this a little easier for some people than using the search criteria to find, let's say, if you were just interested in the East County maintenance vehicles that have open repair work orders, you could very easily use this column to only look at East County maintenance and see that there's only one of them that meets that criteria. If you wanted to see all 21, not just the 9, you could toggle this only open. See, I took the highlight away. Now we have 21. And if I look at those in the results list here, it'll show both the ones that are completed and the ones that are still active, right? You can see things like created date and who created them and all those sorts of things, right? So let's go ahead and toggle back to only open. So really what I'm trying to demonstrate to you here is if you were interested in fleet repair work orders, you could go directly to those work orders and see all of them, use your filter if you wanted to, or export to Excel. Or in this case, we know that this work order we just wrote, I could go back into my fleet assets, go to 320, open up 320, and I would see that one specific fleet repair work order right here. So either way you want to find them, you can find them. Now let's say we wanted to edit this work order. I'm going to go ahead and hit the pencil here, which is edit fleet repair work order, and it's going to bring it up here. So I could come in here, I could update the odometer if that wasn't already put in, repairs completed on, I could put a date in there for that, any closing comments we have here, any cost of repair. Let's say that it was a nail removal, whatever, maybe it was a zero cost, you could put that in. And then under documentation, pictures, reports, invoices, you can put in any files you want there, right? It could be pictures, it could be a copy of the invoice, anything you want to be attached to this repair work order for any future reference. I'm going to go ahead and set this status to closed and hit save. And you'll see what happens is it's going to go ahead and process that. And now it says there's zero active work order fleet repairs, but there's one in the history now. So if I go here, it's going to show no records because I'm telling it to only show me open. But if I want to see all of the repair history, I could come in here and take a look at this, and it's going to, it's the green color, meaning that it's completed, and then it'll tell me what that was. Or I could just pop the details over into the grid view and take a look at that, including all of my closing comments, and any documents I had attached would be shown down here. So this concludes our overview of the fleet organization in MobileMMS. If you found this video helpful, click the like button. You know you want to do it anyways. This is That CMMS Dude signing off. We'll see you next time.